On-page SEO. In this section, we're going to cover what is on-page SEO, the three kings and their importance in on-page SEO. And just as a hint, they are super important. These are essentially the three elements you can optimize to help improve your visibility in Google. If you get these right, you can see massive jumps up on Google. If you get this wrong, then what will happen is Google won't actually know what your page is about, aka it won't show your website for certain keywords. I'm going to show you how to set up your website structure to rank for local landing pages. So as you can imagine, getting this right, again, is super important. If you get this wrong, you're going to make your life a lot harder later on down the line, especially when it comes to the next module, which is link building. So having a clear understanding of how to structure your website is super vital. We're going to look at how to geotag your images for local relevance. So geotagging your images for local relevance has a massive impact on how likely it is for your website to get mentioned in the map pack. I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. We're going to cover what are internal links and show you exactly how to create them. I'm going to show you what is Schema and how to implement it. Every local business should have Schema on the website, so I'll show you how to implement it on your one. And lastly, we're going to cover what is an XML sitemap, how to create one and submit one to Google for your website. Okay, let's get into the section. What is on-page SEO? So far, we've already done keyword research and we found all the best keywords for our business so we can get the most traffic over to our websites. We've also covered how to craft content and we've covered the different types of content you need to have on your website. However, the algorithm can't always determine if your content is quality and exactly what your content is about. So what we need to do is structure the content correctly on our websites so Google's algorithm knows exactly what our sites are about. This involves making optimizations to your website. In essence, on-page SEO refers to any change you make on your website to improve its visibility. Some examples of on-page SEO optimizations would be updating the title tag on a page, changing the H1 tag on a page, and editing the meta description of a page. These are all actions you make on your website and as a result are classified as on-page optimizations. Let's use a car as an analogy. Winning in SEO is like a car race. The other websites you are competing with are the other cars. Your on-page SEO is the car itself. So the car's chassis, the wheels, and all the other mechanical components are basically your on-page SEO. The off-page SEO would be your engine. This is why it's so important to focus and make sure the basic functions of your vehicle are functioning correctly. As if you only have a car with one wheel, for example, then no matter what engine you have inside that car, it's not going to go anywhere. This is why we focus so hard on doing the perfect on-page SEO, as it's literally the foundation upon what we build upon. The three kings. When it comes to optimizing your website, there are certain placeholders on your website that are more impactful than others when you place keywords in them. In order, they are your URL, your SEO title tag, and your page title, often referred to as a H1 tag. And then below that, you would have your subheadings, such as a H2 and a H3. And lastly, you would have your content. The top three, the URL, the SEO title tag, and the page title, these are the real big hitters and essentially define what your page is about. Now we know this, we want to optimize our service pages for all three elements. Step 1. Optimize the URL. The first king is going to be the URL as we discussed in the last slide. So what we're going to do first is optimize the URL. We want to start off with our keyword research template for one of our services and then take a look at our biggest keywords. So in this example, I've decided to go with our carpet installation page. And as you can see from the screenshot on the right, our biggest keyword for the carpet related service is carpet installation in Richmond, Virginia, which is the top keyword with 480 searches. As a result, we want to include at least one part of this keyword in the URL. So a good example would be website.com/carpet installation. Or we could have website.com/carpet installation Richmond, Virginia, which is the whole keyword string. The first is recommended if your business only targets one location, as if you followed everything I've said so far in the training, then it will already be super clear to Google as to where you are based and as to what city you are targeting. However, if you operate in multiple cities, I would opt for the second URL so you can let Google know exactly what city this page is targeting. A bad example of URL would be website.com/carpet installation, best replacement repair Richmond. As you can tell, we're trying to stuff as many keywords as we can in the URL, and as a result, it looks very spammy. We want to avoid looking spammy, and ideally, we want to stay with shorter URLs as well. Another couple of things you want to be aware of as well is do not repeat words in the URL. So for example, if your website is called carpet.com, a good URL would be carpet.com/installation, as you have carpet and installation both in the URL now. However, a bad URL would be carpet.com/carpet installation. So as you can see, we now have carpet in the URL twice. We want to avoid having that, as when you mention the same keyword in there twice, you can very, very easily over optimize your site and actually tank it and send it further back on the pages on Google. So now we know that, let's head over to our WordPress website and actually optimize our URL. So I've now navigated into the back end of my WordPress dashboard and I found my carpet installation service page. If you're not sure how to get to a page like this, all you need to do is log into your WordPress site, click pages on the left hand side, or posts, depends on how your pages are set up. Once you click that, you want to go to the search bar at the top right corner and simply plug in the page you're looking for. So mine was carpet installation, so I typed in carpet installation, and then WordPress returned all of my pages which are talking about carpet installation at least once on there. So you can see I've got carpet installation Richmond, Virginia. So this is the page I want to edit. So you simply click edit. Once you click edit, it will open a page like this. So once you're on this page, you want to edit what we call a permalink. So this is actually your URL. So you can see at present, it's really long. It says carpet install. I believe that'll be Richmond, cheap and commercial. I'm not sure what it is. At the moment, it's very long and it's not optimized. So what I want to do is optimize that to include my main keywords. So to optimize this, you simply click edit. I want to delete what's in there at present, and I want to plug in my main keyword. So as I go back to my keyword research template, you can see my main keyword is going to be carpet installation Richmond, Virginia. However, as I only target one location with this website, which is Richmond, Virginia, I'm going to go for the shorter URL, which is going to be carpet installation. Like I said, there's no need to plug in the area I am targeting as well, as Google already knows, as I've made it super, super clear in the steps before. So plug in your keyword, carpet installation, and then click OK. Once you've done that, you want to click update to update these changes. So what I've just done now is I've optimized the URL for my carpet installation page. However, I want to go and do the same for all of my services. So I want to go and find the biggest keywords for hardwood, laminate, tile, and vinyl, and then update all of the URLs to suit. So that is how you optimize your URL. Word of warning. If your service pages has decent rankings and has links pointing to the page, you may want to avoid changing the URL, as this page will already have some trust and authority in the eyes of Google with its current rankings and the links it has pointing to the page. If you then change the URL of this page, it can result in a drop of rankings. It's better to just move on to the next two kings to better optimize your website. If you insist and you still want to change URL to include the keywords, an alternative solution would be setting up a 301 redirect. A 301 redirect is essentially when you redirect one page to another page, meaning if you did have a link to that page, then they would automatically get redirected to the new URL. Step 2. Optimize an SEO title tag. Your SEO title tag is the main heading text you would see in the Google search results. It's usually filled out by Yoast SEO, which is a free WordPress SEO plugin. I'll show you how to install the plugin shortly when we jump over to the live walkthrough. The HTML version of your SEO title tag would look like this. So it'd have brackets title, and then you'd have bracket / title closing bracket, and then your keyword would be within the title tag. Try to get your main keyword towards the front of the title tag, as this typically carries more weight and is a bigger ranking signal. So as you'll see from our title tag below, I've got a keyword towards the front of the title tag. You want to make sure you write naturally and do not just stuff your keywords in there, as that will appear spammy, which is what we want to avoid at all costs. Also try to include single words in there too, and again, do not repeat words, as this can very quickly lead to over optimization and result in you end up going further back on the pages in Google. In regards to length, this changes pretty often. However, my advice is to keep it under 60 characters in length. Taking all this into consideration, we've made the title tag for our page, carpet installation Richmond, Virginia, -- trusted company level finish. So I've included our main keywords for the front of the title tag. I also haven't repeated any keywords, and I've also managed to get the word company in there, which is a different variation of the word companies, as you'll see up here on the keyword research screenshot. Okay, let's head over to our WordPress website now and show you exactly how we optimize the SEO title tag. So now we're logged into the back end of our WordPress dashboard, and we're going to optimize the SEO title tag. So to do so, you need to make sure you have the plugin Yoast SEO installed. So just to double check if you have it, go to your plugins page, scroll to the bottom and see if you have Yoast SEO. If you don't have it, that's not an issue. I'll show you how to install it right now. It's a free plugin as well, so it won't cost you a penny. So click plugins, and then you want to click add new at the top. And then where it says search plugins, you want to plug in Yoast SEO. And this would be the plugin you're looking to install. So as I already have it on my site, mine says it's active. However, if you don't have it installed on your site, it's going to say something like this, install now. Once you install it, it's going to say activate. You want to click activate just to make sure the plugin is activated. And once it's done, you then head over to the page to optimize. So like I said, I've got mine installed. So I'm going to go over to my pages right now. And now I want to find the page I want to optimize. So we go for the same page, carpet installation page, and click search pages. This is the page I want to edit. So I want to click edit. Once the page has loaded, you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom, like so. And you'll see you've got this whole section here called Yoast SEO. If you don't see this section, just make sure the arrow is actually expanded. It might just look like this. However, you just want to click the arrow to drop down. And as you'll see, we've got a title tag right there, and we've got some what we call a meta description. So to edit this, you simply want to click edit snippet. And as you'll see, there's an option to plug in our SEO title. So it actually tells you when you're going too far to the end in terms of your characters. So you can see that bar adding up. So that's too many. If you have too many, what it means is Google actually cut off your title tag and show what it believes is going to be relevant. So we don't want to leave it up to Google. We want to put in a title tag which we know is the best based on our keywords. So as you can see, I've already put in our title tag right there. I put in carpet installation, Richmond, Virginia, trusted company, and then I just have our brand name at the end, which is level finish. I've also actually included a meta description. So this is the text you see below that in the Google search results. So it's good to put some keywords in there as well. It isn't actually a ranking signal. It used to be, however, Google changed that a few years ago. However, it's always good to put in your keyword in there as well. So what I like to do for service area businesses, so for example, carpet installation Richmond, that is a keyword. So what I want to do is now call out people who are looking for carpet installation services in Richmond. So all I've done is I put, are you looking for the best carpet installation company in Richmond, Virginia? Question mark. Look no further. Our team have been installing carpets for over 5 years. I put checkout, and I've actually put ... myself. So the reason I put ... is because someone will read that and think, check out what? They might want to click our website to see what there is to check out. Once they click our website, they're now going to be on our page, and they're going to be getting sold to as to why they should pick us. So it's all about getting the user to click over to your page. So once you've optimized your title tag and your meta description, just click close snippet editor and then click update. So now these changes will be pushed forward live to our website, and this is how you optimize your SEO title tag. Step 3, optimize the page title. So what is the page title? The page title is what you fill in at the top of your WordPress edit page. So whenever you add a new page, this is the first field that you have to fill in. It typically gets automatically converted into a H1 tag. However, a bad theme will convert this into 2 H1 tags or even an H2 tag. The H1 represents the main topic of your page. When it comes to optimizing your page title, it's kind of the same rules as an SEO title tag, but you don't want to make them exactly the same. You basically want to scramble up the words or include some other valuable keywords in it. So from the screenshot below, you can see I've done just that. I've gone with carpet install, Richmond, Virginia, domestic and commercial. This means I'm now targeting the word install, which is a variation of the word installation, which you already have in our SEO title tag. I've also included both singular words of domestic and commercial, ensuring we are optimized for both these keywords too. So let's swipe over to our WordPress site now and show you exactly how we do this in the dashboard. So as you will see, I'm now back over on my WordPress site and I'm on the same page for my carpet installation service. So as you'll see from the little section at the top, I've put in my title tag already, which is carpet install, Richmond, Virginia, domestic and commercial. And like I said in the last slide, I have both singular words in there, domestic and commercial. So I'm targeting both keywords. And I've got install instead of installation, which is a different variation of that word. So my title tag is already optimized. However, if yours isn't optimized, you want to delete whatever you have at present and then simply plug in your new title tag. Once you've done that, you then want to click update down here just to push your updates to the live version of the website. And just like that, I've now optimized my page title. So now you know how to check the 3 kings. It's important I go over this element because it's really good you know this as well. You need to check your 3 kings. So the 3 kings are huge. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a big role they play in on-page SEO. Making sure they are correct is something you do not want to overlook. There's a free Google Chrome extension that is able to check all of them for you with ease. The extension is called SEO Meta in one click. So let's head over to one of our URLs now and see exactly how it works. So if we go over to our carpet installation page, you can see I've already installed the plugin because I have this option right up here. So if we give this a click, you'll see straight away it's telling me what my title tag is. So carpet installation, Richmond, Virginia, trusted company, and then we have level finish at the end, which is perfect. It's 63 characters. So like I said, you want to keep it under 60. However, you can go up to 65, but sometimes Google will cut it off. So I'm within 65, so it's not the end of the world, which is good. If we go to the heading section now, you'll see I've got my H1 tag as carpet installed, Richmond, Virginia, domestic and commercial. So this is actually, like I said, as my page title. And as you can see, the theme has now converted this into a H1 tag, which is perfect. And I only have one H1 tag as well, which is good, as you only want to have one H1 tag. As like I said, it's the main heading of your page. So if you go over to the heading section of your site and you see you have multiple H1 tags, you will need to remove them. If it is to do with the code, you will have to unfortunately hire a developer to get this sorted, as you really only want to have one H1 tag on your website. Under your H1 tag, you want to have your H2 tag. So this would be subcategories of your main H1. So the main heading of my page is carpet install Richmond. So a subheading of carpet installation is what are the benefits of carpet, how to choose the right carpet installation service, who can install carpet in Richmond, Virginia. So these are all things that are subcategories of the main H1. So this is a very clever little plugin which makes checking your three kings super easy. And also if you go back to the summary as well, we can see our URL. Again, I've got the keyword in there, carpet installation. So that is how you check all three kings using the free Google Chrome extension. In this video, I'm going to show you how to geotag your images for more local relevance. So as I keep on stressing throughout this course, local relevance is super important. You really need to convince Google at every opportunity you get, you are based where you say you are. So geotagging your images is a great way to do this. So currently I'm on my carpet installation page, and you can see I've got an image here and I have an image down here. So at present, I'm pretty sure this image just has a file name of carpet installation job 2. While that's a little bit decent and descriptive of what it is, we need to go a little bit further just to prove to Google this image was actually taken in a city I say I'm based in, and it was taken in a city I'm targeting. This will help me tons with local relevance and will increase the chances of me appearing for keywords that are related to do with searches in my local area. So to geotag your images, it's very easy to do. You need to head over to geoimgr.com and then simply click Start Now. The tool used to be free, but unfortunately, it's a paid tool now. They made it $10 a month. You shouldn't need it any longer than a month, to be fair. As long as you prepare all your images in advance, you can simply use the tool for 1 month and then get all the information you need out of it. So once you log into your account, as you need to create an account to use it, you want to simply upload your photo. So if I start off with this photo, let's upload this one. So if I go over to Geotag, let's close this. I've got 2 tabs at the moment. I want to upload my photo, which is carpet installation job. Click open, and as you'll see, it's pulled in my image right now, and it says existing geotags. It's blank, so currently there's no geotag on this image. So what I want to do is add a geotag. So essentially a geotag is you telling Google where the photo was taken. So again, it all helps with local relevance. So as I'm targeting Richmond, Virginia, I'm going to plug in Richmond, Virginia. And as you'll see, it's now pulled in the latitude and the longitude. So these are coordinates obviously on the world of where Richmond, Virginia is. Once it's populated, you want to simply click write EXIF tags. That will then add your geotag to the image. So you can see photo has now been tagged. Once it's done, you want to click download. This will now download obviously the file back onto my desktop. And then what I simply want to do is go over to my carpet service page and replace that image to include the new image. So let's do that right now. So let's go into that. I want to delete this one and I want to add a new image. Let's upload a file. And I want to go for this one, which is the latest one, as it has a little bracket around number 1. If you're unsure as well, you can just go to list. You can actually see the date. So this is the later one. So the later time. So this is definitely the one we just done. You want to click open. And if you want, you can add an alt text. So this is the description of the photo. So I will just leave it as carpet installation job 2. That will do. I don't need to go any further as I've already done my geotagging. So that is more than enough. I'm going to click set image. And then I'll click save changes. For me, this is the theme I use. Yours might be a little bit different. But essentially what you want to do is just replace the image on your site. So once you've done that, you obviously want to click update just to make sure your changes are now pushed forward. So you want to do this for all of your images on your site. It will help you a ton when it comes to adding geo relevance. So another thing you might want to do, you want to go a little bit further. I typically don't do this, as essentially what I follow in the training course is typically enough. However, you can also geotag all the images and add them to your GMB listing as well. So currently on our GMB listing, we have I think 4 or 5 different photos. I can't remember. So the photo here, we've got another photo, we have this photo. However, none of these photos are geotagged. So what you can do if you want to go the extra mile is geotag all of these images, re-upload them in your GMB dashboard, and that will definitely give you a boost. However, like I said, you might not even need to do this. So just do some research first. If you're up against websites that are doing a lot of SEO and the competition is tough, you may need to do this. But please do look at doing this before you actually subscribe to the software. As like I said, it is $10 a month, and you don't want to be getting billed for more months than you actually need the software for. So that is how you geotag images. Here's a little trick to help add geo-relevancy to your website. So as I explained earlier on in the course, adding geo-relevancy to your website is super important. You really need to convince Google you are based where you say you are, as if you don't, you're going to struggle to appear for local search terms in your area. So one of the easiest ways, or I should say the smartest ways to add geo-relevancy, is to embed a GMB on your website. So this is super important. So you can see for level finish, I've embedded a GMB, which is the GMB listing right here. So a little map section. I've embedded it in the footer on my website. So the reason why I've added it in the footer on my website is because I operate in one city and footers are site-wide. So when you add a GMB in the footer, you are telling Google your whole site is now about this one city, which for me would be Richmond. If you operate in multiple cities, I wouldn't advise adding your GMB to the footer on your site. You want to add it on the relevant city page. So adding your GMB in the footer is very simple. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it now. What you want to do is head over to google.com/maps, like so. I'll show you from scratch. Once that loads, what you want to do is plug in your business name. So it'll be level finish, and you want to find your GMB listing. Whilst that's loading, I'm just going to go back to the dashboard and make sure that is how it should be. Once that loads, you want to click the button share. So again, just do make sure you have your right business first. Don't go and embed someone else's GMB listing on your site. That won't actually help you. So click share and then go to embed a map. And then you have different options. So this is just the size of the map. They're all the same. I typically go for the small one as I don't want the map to be too big and stand out too much. Once you click small, you want to click copy HTML. This will now copy all of the iframe code. You want to go back to your WordPress site. You want to hover over appearance and then click widgets. And now depending on where you want to add your map, so you can see, for example, from my screenshot, I've got my map on the right-hand side of the footer. I have 3 options in my footer. I've got 1, 2, and 3. So for me, I'm going to add it to footer 3. However, if you want yours on the left-hand side, add it to footer 1. If you want it in the middle, you add it to footer 2. So I'm going to go for footer 3. Click the drop-down menu. I'm now going to go and find a text box. I'm going to drag this across into footer 3. Once it loads, I want to go to the text tab. It's super important you want a text tab as you can't paste it on the visual one. So go to text and then paste in all of that code. So the title is essentially the text you want to view above the map. So I like to keep it natural. So I like to put in where to find us. And then you want to simply click save. Once that's saved, you want to go to your site just to see what it looks like. So I go to visit site, wait for the site to load, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. You will see it now says where to find us, and I've embedded a GMB map here. So this is now telling Google this whole site is to do with Richmond in Virginia, as that is a location we're targeting, as first, like I said, are site-wide. So this is a very powerful trick which you can use to help add geo-relevance to your website. In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what an internal link is and show you how you can set up some internal links for your website. So firstly, what is an internal link? An internal link is simply a link from one of your pages that links to another one of your pages. The link has to be from one page to another, which are both on your website, hence the name internal. Like I discussed earlier on in this course, to get to page 1, you need both geo-relevance and niche relevance. By now, we've already covered tons of geo-relevant strategies you can implement on your site, so it's time to cover the other element, which is niche relevance. So our main service page for the carpet installation service, you can see it's this page right now. You've probably seen it a few times throughout the course. So what we want to try and achieve is to further convince Google this page is indeed related to things to do with carpet and precisely carpet installation, as that's the main topic of the page. The way we can do this is to find blog posts on our site which are talking about carpet related things, and then go into these articles and add an internal link from the articles back to this main service page. So let's do that now. So if I go over to our blog, what I want to do is go to our category that says carpet. I've actually split up my blog post by category, so it makes it super easy to pick ones that are relevant. So I go to the carpet category. I now have all my blog posts talking about things to do with carpet. So you can see I had an article right here. Is carpet good for people who suffer from asthma and dust allergies? So let's go into this article. And you can see it's roughly, I would say, I don't know, about 500 words long. So what I want to do is find a paragraph in this article where I can now add an internal link from this article back to my main carpet installation page, which will be, just to confirm, will be this page right here. So I'll open that in a new tab just so it's ready. So what I want to do is scroll through this article now and just find somewhere where I can add a link. So here's a paragraph where we can add a link. So it says, another study conducted by the Carpet Institute of Canada in 2008 has further supported this idea in its reports. They conducted this research in 8 different countries for 19 years and concluded that carpet installation in a room can neither cause allergies such as asthma, nor can they increase the severity of the symptoms. So what I can do, if you look closely, I can actually use the word right here, carpet installation. You can see this sentence actually mentions our keyword, which is obviously carpet installation. So I can actually go into this blog post now, edit the article and add a link back to our main service page, which would be our carpet installation page. So let's do that now. Let's go to edit post. For me, it would be edit post and not edit page, as when I build sites, I keep things very simple. I have all my blog posts as a post and all my standard pages, such as a standard page, I build out as a page. So essentially all of my posts on my site will be all of my blog posts. So now I'm in the edit post section for this article. I simply want to scroll down and find that sentence, which is right here. So I want to highlight the text I want to be the link, which is what we call the anchor text, so the hyperlink text. Once I select that, I want to click this button up here, which says insert/edit link. And then I simply want to copy in the URL of my main carpet installation service page, go back to the blog post, paste it in, and then click apply. Once you click apply, you want to scroll down or scroll up, wherever, depends how far your article is. So wherever you are in the article, you want to scroll up to the button that says update, and then simply click update. This will make sure the change you just added, so your link has now got pushed forward through to the live site. So once you click update, the next you want to do is visit the page just to make sure the link has indeed been added. So let's do that right now. So if we scroll down to that paragraph, you can see we do indeed have our link here, carpet installation, and you can see the text has now changed color as it's now what we call a link. So if I click this link, you will see it will now link me back to my carpet installation page. So what this is doing, this is telling Google that this article about whether carpet is good for people who suffer from allergies and dust allergies, and this is now relevant to the main page of carpet installation as it links to my page, and the part that links says carpet installation. So it's a sign to Google that this page is actually definitely talking about carpet, as it has links from another page linking back to that. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense and adds a bit of clarity as to why we add internal links. They are super powerful, and as you can imagine with SEO, as you start building out links for your site and really getting into the link building campaign, over time, different pages on your site will just attract links naturally. So for example, if this page had a link going to it and we didn't link back to our main service page, that is a kind of wasted opportunity, as you know, it's just one link to this page, and this isn't the page that makes us money or generates phone calls. So it's just a wasted link really. So what we're going to do is add a link on this page as we've just done. So now if someone does link to this page, all of that link juice and all that power now gets transferred over to our main service page. So now we've covered the niche relevant section of interlinking. We also want to do the same for our geo-relevant content. So if you remember in the content section, I actually also mentioned you need to have locational based content as well. So locational based content is exactly the same thing as geo based content. It's just a different word, different variation. As you probably realize already in this SEO world, there's so many different variations that mean exactly the same thing of a word. So essentially, just to refresh your mind, this is what I'm talking about when I say geo-relevant content. So I just gone into Google and I typed in things to do in Richmond, Virginia, and now Google has returned this, which are all things that Google understands to be relevant with Richmond. So what I want to do is get an article written for each one. I say each one. It all depends how many you want to do. You can start off with 5, maybe even 10. Again, it all depends on the competition. You know, if you're in a big area such as New York or London, you are going to need more of these because you need more geo-relevance just to further convince the Google you are based in the city you say you are. So what you want to do is get an article written like this and then add it to your website. However, you need to bear in mind, obviously, these pages won't actually generate sales or phone calls for your business. So as a result, you don't want them to be accessible via the menu. So if you go on your site, you shouldn't be able to access any of these pages from the menu. You can see home, about us, our gallery, services. There's nothing to find these pages. So these pages are on my site, but they're hidden. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if you go over to dashboard, I've already got one of these articles uploaded. I'm pretty sure actually they're all uploaded. So for me, as it's a page I want to hide, it needs to be an actual page, so it can't be a post. So If you have a post, I'm pretty sure there's no way to hide it from the site. So just a little pro tip there, make sure you upload it as an actual page. So if I go into pages, you'll see I've got this one right here, Ancaro's landing. If I click view the page and then I'll go into edit just to show you how we edit the page. So essentially this is just Ancaro's landing. So it's essentially one of the things to write about in Richmond. So if I did a Control F just to show you, wait for that to load. If I did Control F and did you can see right here, Ancaro's, oh, it's just gone, not sure that's gone. Let's get that back. Ancaro's landing, so you can see it's just a site in Richmond. So what I've done, I've written a generic article about that. And if you're not sure what to write, you can just Google Ancaro's landing, so the site, and then type in Wikipedia after. Wikipedia will describe it very, very well. Obviously, you can't just copy and paste Wikipedia text. You need to reword it and structure it yourself so it's unique. So that's exactly what I've done. I've typed in everything I know about Ancaro's landing. And then as you see, at the end of the article, I've added a link back to our homepage. So the reason I've linked back to our homepage and not one of our service pages, as the homepage is obviously our main page, which talks about Richmond, Virginia. It's going after our main keyword, which is flooring contractor, Richmond, Virginia. So as a result, I've just written up this article, and in the bottom of the article, I've added a link, which if you click it, will go back to level finish. So now if I have more of these articles, all going back to my homepage, all from things to do in Richmond, Virginia, over time, this will help increase my geo relevance, and it will help tell Google I am indeed based in Richmond, Virginia, as I talk about all of these things to do in Richmond, Virginia. So this helps you tons and it's very, very effective. So do make sure you include it in your SEO strategy as well. And just to show you as well, I'm not sure I mentioned it, to hide the pages from the menu, you simply want to go to your appearance and then you go to menus. And what this will do, this will bring up all the options of the stuff you have in your menu. So if you see you create a page and it's popped up in your menu, all you simply need to do is click the drop down arrow and then click remove. And once you've done that, you want to click save menu. So this will now remove that from your menu and make sure it isn't visible. However, like I said, as it's on your site, Google will still be able to crawl the page, which means find the page and index it. So you still get the additional SEO benefit without affecting your conversion. So a very smart and effective thing you guys should be doing. Schema for local businesses. So what is Schema? Local business schema is a type of structured data markup code you can add to your business's website to make it easier for search engines to identify what type of business you are and what you do. So essentially, it's all about adding code to your website to give Google more information about what you are and what you do. This is super beneficial, as the more information Google has about your website, it means the better it understands what you do and the services you provide. Meaning, if someone went onto Google and carried out a search for a service you offer in your city, as Google has a clear understanding about what you do and the service you provide, it's more likely Google will return your website to the user over a website that has no schema on the site. So as you can imagine, it's a major ranking factor for local SEO. So do not skip this part. So like I said, it involves adding code to your site. I'm going to show you a process which makes it really, really simple, as you don't have to get into any code at all. You can simply just copy and paste it over to your site. Literally Control C, Control V. So I'll show you how we do that now. So what we have here is a local schema generator. So you didn't think I was going to make you create your schema from scratch now, did you? So this is a local schema generator. To access this page, you want to go to bit.ly/schema generator. And as usual, the URL is case sensitive. So you will need a capital S on schema and a capital G on generator. So before I get into this, it's important to note that this generator only works for GMBs that have a visible address. So, well, first things first, your GMB needs to be verified. So hopefully by now, as you've gone past the GMB section in the course, your GMB is already verified. If it's not, go ahead and verify it and then come back to this video. So for this schema to work, you need to have a visible address. So once you're on this screen, you want to plug in your business name. So mine would be Level Finish. And then from the drop down menu, you want to select your business. So this would be me, Level Finish right here. This will now pull in all the details from your GMB listing, which is great. Saves us tons of time. And now for optional information, you need to enter a URL of your social media properties. You can put in as many as you want. However, just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go with one, which will be my Twitter profile. So I have my social media information in this box. In the box below will be a short description of your business. So I've already prepared one earlier, so I will copy that and then paste it in the box. Do make sure from the drop down menu you have the relevant one selected. So for me, it would be local business, and most likely be the same for you, as this course is about local business SEO. Second box would be a URL of an image on the website. So it's typically advised to get an image describing something you do. So for example, I'm a flooring contractor, so I want to get images of either hardwood or a carpet. So let's just go to the carpet page. And let's just find an image of some carpet. So you can go for this one or this one. Let's take this one. So let's go to copy image address. And now go back to the schema markup and now paste that there. That has now pasted in the URL of my image. So if I went over to Google and search for that URL, that should then direct me to a whole page about the image, which is perfect. URL of the contact page. So just go to the site and then go to the contact page and simply copy that. Go back to the generator and paste that on there. Contact email for the business. So what I want to do now is get an email address. I should have one in the footer of the site. So info@levelfinish. I will paste that there. URL of the logo. So this will just simply be a logo of the site. So it'll be the same process. If I go back to level finish, right click my logo and then click copy image address. This will now bring in the image address in a URL, just like so. Currency, this is the currency you operate in. So I'll just put in dollars. And example 1 and example 2 is essentially the price of your services. So if your prices, your services are quite cheap, maybe start from 0 and go up to $100. If your installation processes or your services are a lot more expensive, maybe they start at $100, put in 100, and maybe they go up to 10,000. So you'd add that. So for me, I'm just going to leave mine at 10 to 1,000 for now. And then a Wikipedia URL about this niche. So this is just to give Google more information about exactly what your business does. So like I said, Level Finish is a flooring contractor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to Google flooring contractor, Wikipedia, and see what comes up. Just want to find something relevant about flooring in Wikipedia. So I've got flooring here. Flooring is a general term. Materials can include carpet, laminate, tile, vinyl. So perfect. So this describes what we do, flooring. So I'm going to copy this, go back to my schema generator, paste that in. I'm going to click submit. What that has just done now is created what I call my schema markup code. So the next thing for me to do is to add this over to my site. So before I do that, I just want to show you how you would do it if you didn't have a GMB with a visible address. So like I said, you'd come on the same URL and then you'd click here. Once you click here, you will land on a page like this. So essentially, you have to put in the same information. However, you have to get your latitude and longitude coordinates of your GMB listing. So I'll show you how to do that now. So again, you want to make sure you have local business selected, have the right category. So home and construction business for me, put in my business name, the URL, the same as URL is going to be your social media profile. So if you have multiple, just click add same as, you keep adding them like so. And then you want to put in a logo URL. Again, I've just shown you how to do that. It'll be the same thing for here. It'll be the same for the image of your business as well. Same for description, and then you have your address as standard. So for the latitude and longitude, what you need to do is go over to Google Maps and simply find your GMB listing. So for me, it would be Level Finish. Once it comes up, I now want to right click the name Level Finish or the marker and click what's here. When you click what's here, you'll see your longitude and latitude coordinates appear below. So that also should be in the search at the top. So what we want to do is copy those. So this will be the first one. Go back to there and I want to paste in my latitude. And then I want to go for the longitude, which would be this part. So again, it would be up here. So make sure you include the minus if you do have one. So I'll copy that and then I'll paste that in there. Include a map. So this would just be the map listing for your business. So if I just delete all that and then search for Level Finish, just to make sure it loads, make sure I've got the right listing. Just click that from drop down menu. Okay, so I do need that in, that's fine. So just copy the whole URL when you're on that original page and then paste that in, include a map. Obviously add your business hours as usual. So if you open at 8:30 and we close at 5 p.m. So just get that added right there. And then you want to scroll down and make sure you have your phone selected for the contact type and then put in your telephone number like so. So once you've done that, you can see it will then generate your local schema and then you simply want to copy that over to your site. So now you know how to generate schema for businesses that have GMB address on show and ones that don't have the address on show on the GMB. It's time to add it to our site. So if I go back to this one, for example, I simply want to copy it all. And before I add it to my site, I want to test it. So Google have a free schema structured data testing tool. So essentially, you need to go over to this URL, which is search.google.com/structured-data/testing tool. And once you're on there, you can put in your code snippet. Can't talk today, guys. Sorry about that. And then you want to paste in all of your code and then click run test. So this will be Google just pulling information about your business. So you can see, yep, I'm a local business. This is my URL. This is my business name, the hours I operate. all this information, which is perfect. And you'll see from the top, there's 0 errors and 0 warnings. So this means this schema is good to go and can be added to my site. So to add it to your site, you need to use the plugin Insert Headers and Footers. I have actually used this tool already earlier on in the section, I think in the first section, when we're setting up your Google Analytics and your Google Search Console. So if you're not sure how to get the plugin installed and what plugin you need, please do refer back to the video. However, just to show you for ease, it's going to be this plugin right here called Insert Headers and Footers by WP Beginner, so WordPress Beginner. So to access the plugin, what you need to do is go to Settings, go to Insert Headers and Footers, and then in the script for the headers, you want to go to the top, go below all the code you have right there. It's important you don't break it up, so do just pay attention to the little scroll icon on the right. Make sure you're right at the bottom, and then click Return, and paste all of your code in there, and simply click Save. That's it. That is essentially how you add local business schema to your website. It's really that simple. What is an XML sitemap and why are they important for SEO? An XML sitemap is a file that lists out all of the URLs you have on your website, including the ones you're hiding from your menu, aka the geo-relevant pieces of content. Having an XML sitemap makes it super easy for Google to view your website and get a quick and clear understanding of all of the pages you have on it. If you don't have a sitemap, Google will have to find the other pages on your site through internal links. As you can expect, that puts more pressure on you, as you now have to ensure your internal linking game is perfect and that every page on your site is linked to. Rather than worrying about this, we can simply create a sitemap and then submit it to Google to make them aware. So this is the sitemap for level finish. So as you can see, I've got two sections to the sitemap. I have the post, which will essentially list out all of the posts on my site. So these will be all of my blog posts, such as how to clean carpet, different types of hardwood boards, for example. If we go back, we can now see a sitemap for the pages. So this is our generic pages on our site. We have the about page, the contacts, we have our carpet installation page, our tile. And if you look closely, we'll also have all our pages for our geo-relevant pieces of content. As like I said, and the sitemap will list out every single page on your site and not just the pages that are visible from the menu. So you can see I've got my post and my page sitemaps, and they both come under one sitemap index URL. So this is the main URL for my sitemap. So creating a sitemap is very simple. You can do it using Yoast SEO, which is a plugin I showed you on earlier on in the course. So this is the plugin, just to show you again if you have forgotten. Hopefully you haven't. Yoast SEO. So they have a section built into the plugin for sitemaps. To access the plugin, you simply need to go to SEO down here and then go to search appearance. So before you create your sitemap, you want to determine what you want in your sitemap. So I'm going to show you what I have in mind. So on the general tab, it's blank. If you go into content types, you can see you have a section all for your post right now. So currently I'm showing my post in the search results. I've clicked yes. I don't want the date to show in the snippet preview, so I've clicked hide, and I've clicked show for a Yoast SEO meta box. So this is what I have for my post. For pages, I have yes, hide, and show again. For portfolio, I have no, hide, and show. So I don't want to show my portfolio in the search results. I already have a page on my site talking about the images we do, which is our gallery. So there's no need to show my portfolio again. So I've clicked hide for that. However, you can customize this for you. If you want to show your portfolio in the search results, just simply click yes. So I'll show you what I have for slides. So this is my WordPress slider. So I don't want my slide showing in the search results. So again, I've clicked no. So I hope you get the idea of what I'm saying now. So team members, I've clicked no. I don't want that to be in my index or in my sitemap. Testimonials, I've clicked no, as I already have them on the site on a page. So long as the page gets indexed, my testimonial will get indexed as well. So media is probably the most important one you need to pay attention to. You need to make sure yours is set to yes. If not, what happens is every image you have on your site will be on a different URL, and that will also be visible in your sitemap. As your images are already going to be on a page, you want to make sure the page is going to be in your sitemap and not an individual URL for that image. So media will be one of the most important things you need to pay attention to. So essentially you want to make sure this is set to yes, and as you'll see, it will redirect attachment URLs to the attachment itself. So essentially what this means is that each image on your site won't have its own URL. It will simply be an image on a page. And as we know, our pages are going to get indexed and are going to be included in our sitemap. We don't need to have this to no. So do make sure that is on yes. And if you go through the other headings on here, you can see I've got categories, no, tags, I have my no, and I have show. Format, I've got enabled, and I've got no here. Again, it all comes down to preference. Categories, so these are my projects. If I have like a different type of carpet, if I have hardwood, if I upload a whole category to my site as a project, I don't want them shown in the search results. They should just be visible on my site. So The last couple, archives, I've got mine enabled. Show author archives, I've got mine as no, as I don't want my author archive showing in the search results. And then if you go to breadcrumbs, I've got mine to disabled. So once you're happy and you're finished picking all the elements you want to appear in your sitemap, you need to scroll down to the Yoast SEO plugin and then click General. And then you want to go over to Features, and then where it says XML sitemaps, you want to click the question mark. And you'll see it gives you a link right here to see the XML sitemap for your site. So once you then get your XML sitemap URL, you simply want to go over to your search console. So let's copy this first. Go over to your search console. So this is what we set up in the first section of the course. And you want to go down to sitemaps down here on the left. And where it says enter sitemap URL, you simply want to paste in your sitemap URL and then click submit. So now I'm submitting my sitemap to Google, and as you can see, it's done successfully. So now Google is going to crawl my sitemap and have a look at all the pages I have on it. It makes it a lot easier when you have a new page on your site, as Google can just check out your sitemap and see what's there. And like I said, if not, you'll have to crawl each page individually, and they can only do that through using pages that have links on them internally.